Ladies, gentlemen, let the show begin. Alright, do you like video games? And I know you do. What about entertainment? We got that too. Video game, I'm on a video game. Video game, oh no, what's the name? Video Game Armada. This is one draw on the Gamer Boss Bronze.
And the information temper true backlash.
And the First Lady of Video Blue.
Coming to you with the Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.2 Aftermath.
Yay!
Yay! Xandu dies! What?
Everybody, if you haven't seen this movie, our aftermaths include all of the spoilers, so turn away.
Cool. Why do you have to go and die?
Well, if you want to know, you have to make sure if you haven't seen this movie and you plan to, and you should.
They know already.
And you should. Then don't listen to the Aftermath show until after you've seen the movie.
Oh, he died.
Yeah.
That was sad.
It was sad.
It was super sad, man.
Like I was saying,
he went off like a G, though. He got wrapped up in all his commendations for a space pirate. I don't know if space pirates actually have commendations.
Yep.
They had a Viking funeral. All his buddies showed up.
Boy,
there was fireworks.
There was thinking about this Aftermath show for quite a while.
It's crazy.
He just now got this on his chest.
Why he had to die? He could have done so much more things. What is crazy technical mohawk?
Let me just say this.
Suns in my eyes.
Was it more money? What was it?
It's like,
oh jeez.
But I mean, like I said, the review, they brought in Michael Rooker, made him as Yondu. It's like, okay, I'm Star-Lord's boss. He works for me as a pirate because I kidnapped him, But other than that, Yondu Udonta is so very different from how he was portrayed in the 616 universe. So let's start with that. But then, he was just this guy, minor antagonist of the first movie. Otherwise, he was there for some comic relief and that awesome magic arrow whistle he had. They really stepped. This guy's clearly one of those classically trained thespians that you get in the indie movies, Sundance and stuff. He really got his money. The studio got their money's worth out of him this time.
They really did. He acted his butt off.
He was talking to a fake CGI raccoon, and they had a discussion of how about they're both just these unlikable jerks because of all the crap that they had to be put through. And that's the other thing. He drugged Rocket down there with him, and they finally said to the audience, which something that me and Bronze have already known, that he was experimented on by those the evil doctors who made him a genetic freak.
Yep.
See, the thing is about that part of the movie, I can't say that I didn't like it, but the one thing about Rocket Raccoon is that he is a D-bag. He'll do the right thing eventually, but you can't just make him like a sad little puppy. He could be a sad little puppy now, but he better be Rocket the next movie.
Well,
otherwise they're going to call shenanigans.
Well, like 20 minutes earlier, he had Groot steal someone's eye, and he was laughing his butt off, and then when he was finally got confronted by Yondu, he wasn't sad, really. He was angry. He was trying to tell them to stop,
Well, to be fair, though, he shouldn't have stole those batteries from the prissy people.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason. I mean, if he was going to steal something, at least let people know beforehand.
And see, that was one of the
Don't
things
steal from the people who hire you.
That's one of the things I couldn't say in the bads. That was definitely a problem. Like, you're Guardians of the Galaxy. I know you're kind of a bad guy. What was the reason behind stealing those batteries? Just because they were glowy things and you're trying. But on the other hand, a raccoon's personality is a thief.
Yep.
Hoarding.
No, it's a thief. They steal. That's what they do.
That's exactly my point. That he's got to maintain his character, and I mean, he just needs to work on his impulse control. I mean, don't steal from the people who hired you. That's just bad faux pas.
Yeah,
especially these guys. Okay. I'm going to put my privilege card on the table right now.
You go for it.
I will say I actually like their aesthetic.
I
liked it. I thought they were cool and regal looking.
Yes.
And if they had better attitudes, they'd be pretty cool. I like their ships. I like the fact that their defense was a video game arcade. That's my kind of kingdom. Let me tell you.
But I will say this, even though I thought they were cool and I like the look, and I even like that little airy, entitled
The privilege.
Privilege. But I did happen to notice, even underneath all that gold and glitter, it was like the black ones were like servitude. They were gold servants. There were no black airy ones. I thought,
Are you really surprised?
I'm noticing this.
Are you really surprised?
Is this what their portrayal of the future is?
You know what? Look at it this way. They are all gold, right? You couldn't tell which one's black and which one. I bet you didn't know. Did you know Gamora was black?
No.
Zoe Saldana.
Oh, I knew. Oh, yeah, I did know that.
Yeah, but you didn't before it, and I
didn't know it before.
I didn't know before. You didn't know before. Come on.
I knew it before she made the movie.
Come on. I
can't comment on that because I didn't really know. I knew she was black because I knew who Zoe Saldana was.
But I'm talking about the gold people, not the green person.
Exactly. It's all face paint. You don't know.
I know.
No, you don't.
You just don't want.
I'm calling you now. No, you don't.
Well, let's see. I mean, all that emotional stuff, man. I'm telling you, I'm going to change subjects. It's like they really just.
Of course, they piled it on thick this time.
I mean, it was so hard, you know. I mean, sometimes it's like waterworks. Sometimes you have a movie where it's like waterworks activated. I just suck it back up. But they really wanted someone to cry in that movie theater. They're just like
the music, the emotion, the Viking funeral, the fireworks.
Oh yeah, and you know what? That's the crazy thing. Man, they brought in Sylvester Stallone in this movie.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Like I alluded to before.
Andrew,
That was Judge Dredd.
Judge Dredd.
He was Judge Dreddiest.
The original Judge Dredd, not this millennial Dredd got.
Yeah.
You betrayed the law!
He came across just like all the royal and prim and proper Judge Dredd. It was just not on screen long enough.
I know.
I didn't like the fact that he was like...
someone's hinting that his Ravager groups, these captains of the main Ravagers, they're going to probably have factored to the Infinity War
show, maybe.
You know, that's cool. That's going to be the Expendables for Marvel.
Yeah, won't that be why?
I think that was their purpose all along. And here's the thing about Sly Stallone. Ving Rhames.
Yeah, I love that too.
Michelle Yeoh, that diamond dude who was next to Sly, voiced by Michael Rosenbaum.
Who looked like a...
Oh, yeah. He happened to look for all you Game of Throners out there like the White Walker. Like the King White Walker, Prince White Walker.
I thought he looked like a diamond boy until Blue showed me a picture and said he looks like a White Walker.
Well, he's made out of diamond too. But Sly Stallone, who was... Scott Stalker, a.k.a. Starhawk, Michelle Yeoh, who was Alita, Alita, they're both named Orgord in the comics. Ving Rhames, who's Charlie 27, and that Diamond guy, he named Martinex. They, along with Yondu, in the 616 universe, were the original Guardians of the Galaxy.
Referential.
How about that?
And they were these characters from the future. I was hoping there was going to be a Vance Astro too. Vance Astro was this super space astronaut with special cosmic powers. That was Stan Lee's cameo. He was talking with the Watchers.
That kind of cool. That was I like.
Maybe I don't know. I was just being funny.
No, but they did mention his last appearance. They haven't mentioned his appearance in Rise of the Silver Surfer, or most likely his last appearance in the Avengers, where he cameoed as a delivery guy. That was funny. But Vance Astro, he had Captain America's shield and used that in the future. But I'm thinking they didn't put him in because Vance Astrovic, a.k.a. Vance Astro, was rewritten as a mutant. And we all know what happens to mutants around the MCU.
Oh, boy.
They're
Terminexed. They don't exist. They're not mutants.
Yeah. So they brought in these two other characters who served on the Guardians. One being named Mainframe, was just this head. Apparently she was voiced by Miley Cyrus. Speaking of
Wrecking Ball.
That was wild. She has been known to lose her head as a...
Speaking of obscure... Speaking of obscure... But speaking of obscure cameos, there's this one party scene where not only did we see Seth Green voice Howard the Duck again, but there is Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah.
He's playing a future... Did you see him? I missed him.
I missed him. Amazing.
I mean, he's played a future character, and I won't go into too
No, it's the aftermath. You can say that stuff.
All right. Oh, Well, I mean, for Blue, I don't want to spoil any suspense for Thor Ragnarok, but I'll say this. He plays a character, a villain, named the Game Master.
Captain Ed, the Game Master.
No, it's not video games this time, but something much more brutal.
0 out of 10, no, we're not watching that movie.
More like the deadliest game. But let me these cameos left and right.
But I love the fact that they're taking all these awesome people who are actors. And, I mean, when I saw Kurt Russell up on that screen...
He was an excellent bad guy.
He was so good.
Awesome.
And you know what I love?
When he showed up in that middle fight, he was being reconstructed as a skeleton, all evil and flamey.
Yeah,
and said, dude!
The best part, you know those shows where you have those Freaky Friday episodes? Sometimes you have the voices match the people who's changing, and sometimes you don't. Where you have
This video is not sponsored by Ready Whip, but I'm going to eat some anyway.
I like the
chocolate Ready Whip.
Chocolate Ready Whip. But I mean, you have sometimes where you don't have the voices match the Freaky Friday flipping. You have to have the actors try to act like those other people.
Yeah.
They mentioned the whole symbolism about David Hasselhoff being his father, and without missing a beat, as he's being retroformed, Ego, as Kurt Russell turns into David Hasselhoff as Michael Knight, and without missing a beat, he just gives one of the most self-indulgent, arrogant speeches about, you blast me, I try to give you a father figure, flips back into
well done.
That was just as good as when Loki turned into Chris Evans as Cap doing the same darn thing.
Well,
that was awesome.
It was so well done too, because when they started the movie, they started off with a young Kurt Russell, and I'm looking up there saying, gee, he looks a
technology
like
is a new thing.
That was a body double, unfortunately. Even though that was his face, that was his face.
It was his face, but that was everything, because we were zeroed in on his face. I'm thinking, this is amazing, and then to follow it up with Judge Dredd, I'm like, oh, this crazy movie is amazing.
And that one scene, they had Michael Rooker and Sly Stallone. And on this seedy planet with all these robot people. Let's put it that way for the young kids at home.
Right.
They just...
What are pleasure units?
Yeah, I guess you could call
pleasure units.
But I mean, it's like... Sly was like, I see Yon. It's like, Yon, you served the wrong person. And it's like, you were messing around and doing this to these kids. And it's like, kids? What's he talking about?
Yeah.
We'll find that. We found that out later. But they were just... Those two... people poured their hearts in that little performance, and that's like that was the first time they really gave you the feels. Like, dang, dude, it's like
you could say that Yondu broke the law of the Ravagers.
And then when the gold people, let's call her because one of her names is her. Her and those gold people came down on the planet. They were rolling out the blue carpet for her.
Wasn't that cool?
And they got stuck. I don't know.
And see, that's what I'm talking about. The gold people that was doing all the rolling underneath that gold. Okay, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Yeah,
but I love that part though.
I remember now.
You can't tell if they were black or not.
I could. Blue carpet. Blue
look,
carpet.
See, that's what I was talking about in the review.
I've always said there was down with red carpet. It should always be blue carpet. Yes.
I'm just saying, that's what I was talking about by the villains. They were good villains.
Yeah.
I liked them, but I wish their motivations were a bit more, either in Ego's case, clear, and in the gold people's case, a little bit more practical. I mean, if they own their own planet full of sovereigns, they shouldn't sweat the small stuff. I mean, the difference between etiquette and downright insanity.
Well, I think in that case...
Their armada that chased down one thief got destroyed twice.
But see, I think
it's insane
that it wasn't just that. I think what it really was is the fact that she kind of had the hots for Star-Lord.
Oh,
she did, and because it was a beneath her anticipation because of the fact of her role to those people. She was an elite, and of the elite, she was the most elite. For her to the rest of them looked at her as if she was nuts for even wanting to consider even procreating with him, even for an experiment. Like, that's really beneath you. You're really slumming. Only for that to be sort of unrequited. She felt like, okay, here I trust you, sort of like you, and I paid you. And then here you people run off with my stuff. Oh, heck to the no. It's on. So I kind of think that's where her head was at.
It might be possible. She's a little bit too obsessed with destroying the Guardians at this point.
Because she's obsessed with
How
dare he?
How
dare they?
I would just send an assassin. It's just cheaper.
Yeah,
Or put a bounty hunter on there. Get Boba Fett on the job.
Well, they did that. They hired the Guardians first for a separate problem.
Well, there you go. They could have hired someone else to hunt them down.
They had hired the Ravagers, and that worked out well.
But then she wound up lowering the budget on all the aircraft. And so the people were like, we're going to have your head. She said, they're probably going to get me now because I spent so much money.
Well, yeah, now, what does she do to solve the problem? Try to buy a honeycombed coffin-like thing to create Adam Warlock.
I can't even imagine what that's going to be.
Adam Warlock is a somewhat minor Marvel character that has one of the Infinity Stones, and that was their attempt on leading it into the greater Marvel universe. But they could have done it way better than that.
Well, he had one of Infinity Stones in 616 universe, the Soul Stone, I believe. But here's the problem. Aside from the Soul Stone, ironically, they have all those stones accounted for. They're just making them separately, but hopefully he still makes an appearance in the Infinity War just to tie things together.
I'm sure he will.
But yeah, we have to say we did round up our whole experience. We not only went and saw the movie, but heck, we went to Dairy Queen and had some Galaxy.
And by the way, you millennial reviewers out there, I watch your stuff. I watch your stuff closely for inconsistencies. There's a lot of them. I have a whole book on your inconsistency and how you are a front to good taste and excellent culture that was from the generation that was my people. You hurt me daily with your garbage. But I will say to you right now, if none of you fools out there have to insult the Guardians of the Galaxy movie for having Dairy Queen in there, like Superman had Target, and Sears, yes, and Power Rangers had Krispy Kreme, then all of you guys are illegit and should turn in your badges for doing this for life.
Well, I don't think...
I accuse the internet. Your judgment.
Well, there's one website I know will think it's very sinful, let us put it that way, who has to nitpick and do that.
Again, why you gotta keep bringing that guy in here?
But
he's horrible.
But overall, I think that hopefully they won't mention Dairy Queen because Sears got smashed into by Zod's forces and Superman. Krispy Kreme was literally the center of the Power Rangers plot with Rita. Dairy Queen's just minding its own business. It's like, it's all of a sudden, here comes this blob.
And back to my thing with ego. He was not very clear to what he was trying to do.
No, he wasn't.
He wanted to find out. He wanted to be part of something greater. He wanted to experience other people, other things. And boy, howdy. That guy would make Captain Kirk jealous at how many women he actually, had relations with and had illegitimate children.
I couldn't believe either because he came across as if he was like only in love with this one woman.
Yeah,
and he left because he needed this eternal life from the life of the light of the planet.
Yeah, himself.
But the reality of it, he was just a big time Galaxy player.
I know, right?
He was getting this swerve on all around the whole creation.
Exactly, and then for what? The goal is that he didn't want to be a part of something. He didn't want to be alone anymore. And what's his end goal? To make every planet part of him.
Which was really weird because his concept was somewhat skewed the way he presented it. Because when you first seen him with his mother, with Star-Lord's mother at the beginning of the show, he had planted this seed in the earth way back then. So he used that to populate all these other places that see. It's almost he came there with that intent. It wasn't like he came there to fall in love and came there and happened to fall in love with her. He came in there to plant that seed and his seed all over the galaxy. That was his intent from day one. That whole story about being, I was alone. Yeah, okay, you might have thought you were alone, but the reality of it is that you just wanted to have minions for your power base. Fuel, batteries, as he put it.
Maybe he was delusional.
Well, I kind of couldn't get, what the heck was that big dark matter cloud. What was that supposed to be? It was like covering the earth like silly putty. What was that?
Oh, that was the blob.
Yeah, no, but what?
That was.
Is that power going back to him?
I
or
think
what was
that. I think he was trying to simulate the planet, like the board.
Yeah, so when you cover it up with that, is that him?
I guess so.
Basically, his diagram, he showed that the blue dark matter would drag everything back to him. All the planets, they would be dragged back to him. I think they're trying to find another way of doing it because apparently the viewing audience of movies were going to puke if they saw another skyward beam coming from out of nowhere.
So is that like in the 616 universe?
I'm really not certain. I
don't think Ego did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that kind of seemed like a question mark for me.
Another thing we're questionable on is Star-Lord is the son of Ego. We don't know if that's true or not.
Not in the 616 universe.
Okay.
He isn't. But here's something I did want to tell you.
He doesn't have light force powers.
But he does in the movie from here on out, though, I'm sure.
But he's not immortal. He probably does, but he's not immortal anymore. That's the thing.
So once the light in that planet...
Yeah, he loses all his powers.
Okay.
I
was really hoping that Ego was going to be alive.
I think he is.
A little bit.
Because that would be a mistake.
Yeah.
I believe all these dead villains are going to come back in Infinity War in one way or another. This is what I'm talking about for the next part. That Fox and Marvel Studios can work together for the greater good, just like Spider-Man with Sony and MCU. Here's what happened. Okay, MCU and Fox made a deal. You see, Deadpool, I don't know if you've heard of him or this movie that came out with Ryan Reynolds that stars Deadpool. They wanted this weird name mutant who wasn't even a big-time player in the 616 universe named Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which somehow eluded the grasp of Fox, so they made a deal. Deadpool and their people get Negasonic Teenage Warhead, and Ego, who was a Fantastic Four villain, goes to them. So they got a good villain in the deal. And even though, again, I say, like I said in the review, Ego didn't move his lips when he was in planet mode, but moved his lips down on a smaller scale inside his nucleus, and he was Kurt Russell every other time. You know, he still was a great representation.
Oh, he certainly was. I mean, he made it so that technically, probably the first half of the movie, you were like so happy. The Star-Lord finally found his dad.
Well, you see,
his dad was so cool. His dad was so powerful, and it just fit because that would explain why Star-Lord was so cool because of this cool dad.
Mm-hmm.
But
I knew it was. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, it sucks to know so much about the Marvel Universe because I knew Ego's called Ego the Living Planet. Okay, and it's like. So, and some YouTube news organizations news organizations period called him Ego the Living Planet. So that's like the biggest spoiler for anyone outside the company. But to be fair, he said, I am a living planet, but that's fine too.
They just didn't do the due diligence, that's all. They just wanted to say, oh, we're smart. We know who this guy is. Ego the Living Planet.
I mean, it would have been cool if they swerved it and Ego did turn out to be a good guy. But, like Michael Rooker, like Sly Stallone's brief walk-on, shawarma break, and then they got their money's worth out of Kurt Russell.
No question.
He hammed up the scenery. He's billions of years old. Here's something you got to understand about you. He's billions of years old. He was lonely for so long. He's not thinking straight. Not anymore. He's killed so many of his own children.
He
killed Star-Lord's mother. Which
is crazy.
He killed so many people on other planets.
Yeah.
And he mass murder. And he's like... But he is so delusional. He thinks he's doing the right thing. There's no anger in anything he says.
He kills so that he could live.
Yeah.
Which was really, really...
I don't know. I think he really killed just so he could turn everything else to him. Which is, again, back to my point, is that if he wanted to be not alone in the universe, why turn all the planets into him?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
It made no
and
sense.
Also, he kept the cricket.
There you go, talk about
That's
phase.
cricket, right?
Mantis,
yeah.
Yeah, and I think the only reason he kept Mantis is because he felt he could use Mantis.
Yeah,
and
but
use Mantis's power.
That entails his flaw in his plan is that if there's someone he needs to be around,
but
why?
Mantis said he found her as a baby. We don't know. That might be his kid too.
Yeah, it might
Never
be.
came out.
True.
Yeah.
Because he mixed and mingled with so many.
And they
That's
changed.
true.
And they changed the OG Guardians, including Yondu and Starhawk already. They've done so much. They made his father, who was a different character in 616 Universe, the Eagle of the Living Planet. Who knows what else they've changed at this point? You know what I liked though, real quick. I liked how that scene with Groot. Everyone's seen it in the trailers about that bomb. It's like, so you have to press this switch, and press this button. And Groot's like, okay, press this switch, yes, and this switch, and this button. It's like, no! That's the button that will blow up the bomb immediately. And the only reason he didn't press that button because of the crack in it. I love that.
You know what would have been actually more, which would be funnier, what happened in that one scene. He was going to go and press that switch, and he was going to do it just abashedly. He said, I am Groot, and then he tries and the button just falls off. And then he would just press the other one, and then runs. That would have been
good too.
Yeah, because he's a baby, he didn't learn.
Yeah, and he was a cute baby.
And
I gotta say, the first Groot in the first movie, I didn't feel that affinity toward the character.
I know he wasn't more.
I kind of liked it.
Cute.
He's cute and he's cuddly and he's defenseless in some regards.
Well, guess what? We're gonna have teenage Groot in the next
That
movie.
is going to be a trip.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be all emo, and he's gonna walk around in emo clothes. It's like, I am Groot. I am Groot.
Well, I mean, here's the
And
thing.
he's going to mimic you. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Well, here's
He's gonna be all sullen, and he's gonna, Jerry color his roots into like Raven black or something.
I'll tell you this right now about what's happened with Groot. In the first movie, Groot and Rocket had this Lenny and George from what was the darn it, it was rabbits and stuff. That Lenny and George
Mice and Men.
of Mice and Men thing going on with the two CGI characters, one short, smart, one big and kind of dumb. But then you took that character and made it bite size, and I read in the article that TV chose because the way Star-Lord and the later part of the movie was handling little baby CGI nothingness Groot, it shows that his real care as a real life father as Chris darn it, what's the name? Chris Pratt, yeah. And then that same goes for Batista, who's a real life dad, a granddad. And with Zoe Saldana, who has a baby. And she even said in an interview, according to TV Tropes, that Baby Groot is Gamora's heart. So they took 3 real life parents and had this baby just big, nurtured and hugged.
Yeah.
Even though he was beating up Drax at the beginning of the movie,
And his big old pretty eyes, and you could tell the little uncertainty, you could tell the whole trust thing, and the whole need thing, and it's sad as you go away, and it's so happy to see you when you come back and fighting the danger, and grabbing on Batista's leg, and it was a cute little interjection.
I did like one scene where Rocket and Yondu were trying to have him get the one right thing, and he kept on bringing all this different stuff, and then he just brought this desk like that's a desk.
That was cute. I love that too.
Underwear.
Now, here's the 2 things that I noticed that, about this movie that seem to be consistent. If you think about it, at the end of the first Galaxy, Groot dies.
Yeah.
And at the end of this movie, dude dies.
Yondu dies.
So it's like this.
His whole crew, except for the one guy, the pilot, he's the only one that's left.
The only one that's left.
Even though the Reavers who betrayed him, they're all dead too.
Yeah, but Groot does come back.
Yeah.
So maybe in subsequent movies we may very well see.
Well, they're talking about Quicksilver coming back too, so you never know.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you never know. And then the other part of this movie that I noticed too is that the sister Nebula, she really broke down and said why she really had this hard on for her sister because of the fact that every time her sister did well, her dad stripped her of every piece of her body.
Honestly,
I was really twisted.
I think that reason is BS.
Well,
she could have just said that, your crazy father is ripping me apart. Can you, I don't know, let me win or something?
Well, yeah, but at the same time,
how is she going to know?
Well, you're right. How is she going to know? But at the same time, I think it's kind of bizarre that the character, through all of that, still, still had that humanness to love her. It was a love-hate thing. It wasn't just purely hate. She said it was hate.
She tried that hate thing really bad with that plane.
But then at the same time, she didn't. She still saved her in the end.
She doesn't know what she was.
Well, she's all messed up. I mean, the girl's just messed up and twisted.
Yeah.
Parents can make you messed up and twisted. But I think, too, I would have liked to have seen even a little glimpse of the father some kind of way show up. Just
he's coming.
Yeah, we know he's coming.
The big bad.
I would like to know who should be the focus of my attention to hate. I want to see him just one more time.
Well, Thanos is going to be in a way kind of like Ronan.
You should watch my videos there. You'll see Thanos in it.
I will watch your videos more. You always keep us working all the time, Boss Bronze. You need to stop being so relentless. Boss Bronze.
Well, I mean, like...
We work 60 hours every week for the corporation.
Well,
it's like we have to have our own personal prison break because the company is so devastated.
You gotta watch my videos, too.
Well, anyway... So, I mean, Thanos is going to be kind of like Ronan, in a way that Drax tried to fight Ronan, and it didn't work. So, Drax is going to be gunning for Thanos. Nebula is going to be gunning for Thanos. And right now, neither of these two people are going to be able to stop him alone. And keep in mind, none of the Earth-based heroes know this about Thanos yet.
Nope.
Yeah. It's
Not yet.
Wild. It's going to be a wild one. And I see that as a whole nother storyline.
One more thing before we wrap up. I do want to make it clear, there was a real-life villain that they didn't make up out of nowhere. He was the villain since the 90s that led to Reaver's coup against Yondu, named Taserface.
Yeah.
It sounded so funny. It
that
had
was
to be
the guy
true.
that wasn't too bright, that
No.
Taserface.
His name is Taserface.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? It's not like Rocket had a place to judge. His name is Rocket.
Yeah.
And he's a raccoon.
Taserface was definitely, like, he's a throwback to the days of, I don't know, Lord of the Rings and the orcs.
Taserface.
Yeah. But
I don't think Peter Jackson had Taserface in mind when he was creating his mystical world.
Well, you know who I thought, what one of the scenes I thought was really cool, and I had to say it in spoilers. It was just a cool scene, is when Raccoon did his thing. When they were on the ship, and they were going to go and they were
I love that too.
Yeah, they were hired by, the
gold people.
Gold people to go and get these things, these batteries, and bring them back. And they must have had, I don't know, looked like hundreds of people. I'm sure it wasn't that many, but it looked like hundreds coming to cast down on this little ship of 2 people.
3.
Nebula. Oh, Nebula, that's right. She was a captive at the time. And all of a sudden, they walked into these series of preset booby traps.
Home Alone style.
Oh, it was just amazing. You actually gone for popcorn. Oh man, it was such a good scene. So I hope you do get a chance to see that.
I saw some of the commercials.
Well, it was just a great 5 minutes. It was awesome. So I did want to give them much props for that.
All right, I think we're all dried out. Is there any more secrets you wanted to spoil?
Yeah, make sure you guys stick around. I mean, you're not going to get a huge spoiler at the end, but stick around at the end. You'll see some hints.
I'll say this. I love the fact that the Stan Lee cameo not only lampshaded his other cameos, but he was with the Watchers.
Yeah.
It's like that's amazing. That's like they did the Watchers, which you thought would also be Fantastic Four related, but who knows? But who
watches the Watchers? Stan Lee.
He tries to bum a ride.
Those guys were my ride.
That's my ride. Where they're living.
Also, Howard the Duck, like I said, came back, and Cosmo, the dog, the Russian.
I missed that somehow.
He was in the credits. The Russian dog.
He was quick. He just showed up in 2 minutes. No, more like 7 seconds in the movie, and then at the credits.
Okay, I must have blinked and it was done.
Yep. So I mean, it was good to have all those cameos. You got in the old school Guardians as the Reavers. It was quite amazing, and it really was heartfelt. It
was. It was a good movie. Good movie.
Fantastic.
Go have fun. Go see it.
Can't say it enough. Go watch it.
I will say this. We did a trailer-rama on Thor and Star Wars, which we also saw. Spider-Man Homecoming, it hasn't completely sold me, but it's shaping up well. I don't know if it will give me the feels like this movie does, but I am kind of getting excited to see where it goes. And I got to give Michael Keaton credit. That's the Vulture.
I love that.
That's a Vulture. He's perfect.
Just seeing him in the role, I'll be there.
And you know what? I love just by looking at that trailer, you could see also there's elements from the Sam Raimi trilogy. You have this free and excuse, well-intentioned extremist villain from like the Vulture, based kind of like on the Sandman from Spider-Man 3, and then there's a scene they wanted to do with the Twin Towers before 9/11 happened. You could see that on that boat in the trailer from the first Spider-Man. That's good callback material right there.
Speaking of callback material, I find it amazing that the first on-screen, big screen Batman, Michael Keaton, is actually coming to Marvel out of the DC Universe to play the bad guy. I think there's a little kismet in that.
There was Adam West. Don't forget Adam West.
He's not big screen now. He was little.
Oh, poor Adam
little
West.
Screen.
We love you, Adam West.
Little tiny screen.
TV's Adam West.
Take your complaints to Blue.
Hey, size
Blueberry
matters.
Scrapper.
Size matters. Isn't
Twitch,
that right, folks?
At twitter.net or something.
Size matters.
Oh boy.
Sometimes you can't get rid of the bomb.
Da, 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 da.
All right. Anything else?
I'm good.
Me too.
Watch
Me
the movie.
too.
Go see. It's a great time for all.
We are Groot.
And if you enjoyed it as much as we did, then leave a comment telling you how much, and subscribe, like, follow us, all that good stuff, because we're like you. We're not pretentious and we like good things. So, till next time, this is What's Wrong the Gamer Boss for All.
Any information on True Backlash.
And the First Lady of Media Blue
Saying, I was going to sing Howard the Duck, but that's good too. YouTube copyright can't stop us now.
So just say, Brandy, you're a fine girl. What a good wife you would be. And la 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 la, my lady is a sea. Do 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 do.